abusive behaviors that are out there. There's physical, verbal, emotional, sexual tactics, and digital. The types of abuse are defined: physical, verbal, sexual, and digital. Digital is the use of social media, the use of technology there. Obviously, I'm pretty sure that we can figure out what physical, verbal, and sexual are. Digital abuse is probably the most up and coming, and we're trying to stay up with technology on that and developing the state law to allow it. So true or false, teens experience dating violence usually tell a trusted adult. False, absolutely. Only 33% of teen victims tell anyone, and even fewer tell a trusted parent or adult, and I'm pretty sure we saw that earlier. I'm going to probably run out of time, but I will get through this as quickly as possible. The cycle of abuse, so there's the honeymoon, the tension, and the violence. So you have the tension, you have everything that's happening, the verbal argument. I come home at 5 o'clock, you're supposed to have my dinner on the table. She didn't have dinner on the table. He resorts to violence. Then we go into the honeymoon phase. Oh, I'm so sorry. I guess it really wasn't that big of a deal that dinner wasn't ready by 5 o'clock, all right? And the cycle of abuse, if it happens once, the cycle is going to continue to go around. You're going to go through the tension, the violence, the honeymoon, the tension, the violence, the honeymoon. Maybe not hourly, daily, weekly, monthly. Once it's there, it's there. Once it's this established pattern. So teen power and control wheel, I like to go through these spoke by spoke. I won't do that today. But the biggest thing for the power and control wheel is to know that it may not be happening to you, but you may be doing it to the other person. Okay, so the spokes go both ways. All right, so those are the top most common ones that are there. So the anger and emotional abuse, the social status, intimidation, minimizing, denying the blame, the threats, the sexual coercion, isolation, exclusion, and peer pressure. Okay? In teen dating violence, we're finding a lot of the sexual coercion. Obviously, teens are more sexually active at a younger age than they were before. Add in the relationship factor to it, and you have the dominance and power and control. Okay? So we have an incident in Oregon at Clay where they're, you know, the boyfriend, every time after class, he's at her locker. Who were you texting during the last class? I want to see your phone. I'm going to walk you to your next class even if I'm late. And then he goes to class. That's power and control. Okay? According to my victim, there hasn't been physical violence. I tend to disagree with that, but I just can't prove that at this point in time. But it's there. It's out there. So it's crazy. Juvenile protection orders. There's three people that can, or there's three things. The person requesting the protection order, there's no minimum age to file. So if I'm a juvenile, I can file for a protection order. A parent or an adult on behalf of the minor, or anyone that's at the minor's discretion. School personnel, we have in Clay High School, we've had a school counselor file the protection order, okay? CSB, et cetera. Protection orders basically are identical to what the adult one was on what you can get a protection order for. Criminal damaging is probably one of the biggest differences that's out there. The protection orders, they must be delivered to the parent or guardian of the juvenile respondent. The order may not extend past the 19th birthday, and the court may order electronic monitoring of the juvenile respondent if the petitioner seeks relief due to health, welfare, or safety, or himself. How do juvenile protection orders work in a school? It's kind of difficult to keep people to go, right? So it's our school officers' responsibility to try to make sure to develop a plan so that they're using different hallways. There's times that we have students actually take different paths than what they normally would.